Hello, and welcome to day 4 of our journey through Acts 21. So Paul has finally made it back to Jerusalem, and the third missionary journey of Acts has ended. And now Paul's going to get in trouble. There's been foreshadowing, and we join the Greek with verse 27. And as the 7 days, so that's the days of completion of his Nazirite vow, as the 7 days were about to be completed. So this is mello, which is a strange word. It's a word that wants an infinitive to go with it, and so here's the infinitive. This is the imperfect form of it, as they were about. Those days were about to be completed, so it's an imperfect active indicative. Then this is the infinitive that completes it. The I is a telltale sign of an infinitive, although there are other endings in I. The st suggests that it's middle or passive in form, to be completed. And then sun teleo is the word here. It appears to be the present stem. So this seems to be a present passive participle from sun teleo, to be being completed. I'm not sure what the present dimension is. They're coming to an end. So that's the condition. The from the Asia Jews. From the Asia Jews, the Jews from Asia. So there are some Jews there from Ephesus, probably, who've come for Pentecost along with others. Having behold him in the temple, so they've seen Paul in the temple, or they see him in the temple. This is concurrent. They're in the temple, they see Paul in the temple. They don't wait. I think immediately he's dragged out. So sigma alpha here indicates aorist. Men are passive or middle participles, but this is theaomai. So it's a deponent word. So it's aorist, middle deponent, participle, nominative masculine, plural. Having beheld him in the temple, they were stirring up all the crowd. So this seems to be imperfect, I think. So it's like sunkeo, I think it is, sunkeo. So this is imperfect, active, indicative, third plural from sunkeo. They were mixing up the crowd, all the crowd, and they were laying the hands upon him. Bal is aorist. It would have two lambdas if it was, it's from epibalo. If it was present, it would have two lambdas. So this is the aorist, epibalo, aorist, active, indicative, third plural. They laid hands on him, verse 28, crying out, present active participle. Quote, direct discourse, men, Israelites, help! Boetheo. This would seem to be, the theta here is part of the word. So it's not a wig that comes off. It's not a tense suffix, theta epsilon. It's part of the hair. Oh, ow, stop pulling on my hair. So this is boetheo. So it's an actual word. It's present. So this is present. Present, active, imperative. Second person plural in the imperative and the indicative look the same in the second person plural in the present tense. Be helping us. Come help. We got to get this guy out of here. He's defiling the temple. Defilement alert. Defilement alert. Okay, this one, demonstrative pronoun. This man, this is the man. This is the guy. This is the person. The against the people and the law and this place person. This article tacks this series, this prepositional phrase, this article tacks it onto anthropos. So it's what person are we talking about here? And anthropos isn't generally man, male, it's person. But what person are we talking about here? We're talking about the against the people and the law in this place person. Against the people, against Israel, against the law, and against this place. And I talk in my podcast how I really can't think of any place in Paul's letters where he talks against the temple. So they're making it up. I think they are. Teaching everybody everywhere. He's been teaching Jews and Gentiles everywhere to hate Israelites and to hate the law and to hate this place. I don't think that's true. Paul defends himself against that charge in Romans, right? Romans 9, he defends those who would say he hates his people. He says, I'd be a curse for my own people. Paul is not against law. Read Romans 3:31. And like I said, I can't think of a single place where Paul is against this place, meaning the temple. And yet, and still, and even more, even Greeks he led into the temple. This is Agagagagag. It's the aorist of ago, so ace ago. And he has commonized this holy place. He's made the temple unclean by bringing a Gentile into it. This is the perfect of koinao, perfect because of the reduplication, perfect active because of the kappa, third person singular. A nu with an epsilon in front of it is almost always a movable nu. Throw it away. Epsilon is very common, third person singular, active indicative ending, usually past tense. Technically, the perfect tense is not a past tense because this is the present perfect tense. He has defiled it, and now it's defiled. I talked in my podcast about how I could totally see Paul doing this, although the kind of the implication of Acts is that he didn't, but I could totally see him doing it. I kind of want to think he did, because how much it would symbolize the tearing down of the dividing wall between Jew and Gentile. Verse 29, for they had seen Trophimus the Ephesian in the city with him. This is a periphrastic form of the verb to be with a participle. This is this is the one that is translated least like it looks. So ason is the imperfect of emi. It means they were. And then this is the pro-heorakotes. Heorica is the perfect of horao, to see. So having seen beforehand. So it's they were having seen beforehand. That's not good English. So what we do is we have past tense had, although this is not really a past tense. They had seen previously is how we would translate that. They had seen, and the seeing had stayed with them. He's got Gentiles here. Alert, 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 alert. So they're poised. They're ready. They're ready to rent their clothes. They're ready to accuse Paul of something because they've seen Trophimus the Ephesian in the city, and they're thinking, why has this guy brought a Gentile into our Jewish city? They're infuriated. Little racism there. Whom they were thinking that into the temple Paul had led him in. So this is the imperfect of nomidzo. This is again ace ago, noun clause, thinking that. Verse 30. And they animated. The whole city was animated. The whole city was moving around. Kinetic energy. Theta eta, aorist passive, indicative, third singular. The whole city was stirred up, and they came, and there came to be a running of the people. You've heard of the running of the bulls? This is the running of the people against Paul. Now, again, the text does not say at all that Trophimus is there. This is the aorist of genomai, its deponent, genomai. So it's aorist, middle deponent, indicative, third singular from genomai. There came to be a running of the people, and having laid hands on Paul, they dragged him outside the temple. Okay, so it doesn't seem like Trophimus is there. This is lobbing you an aorist, right? So it's aorist. Epi lambano is the word. So this is aorist middle participle, nominative masculine plural. This is elko, which means to drag. Interesting word. It forms its imperfect by a crash. Epsilon crashes with an epsilon. So it has a kind of irregular imperfect here. Or although it's hail cone, so it even has a rough breathing mark. Maybe it's helco. I'm remembering it as elko. Hold that thought for just a second. Okay, so it is helco, and it's formed its imperfect by crashing an epsilon into it, forming heoko. They dragged him outside the temple, and immediately the doors were shut. So defilement alert, doors closed. Anyway, so this is aorist passive indicative, third plural. Immediately the doors were closed. Verse 31, and of those seeking to kill him, from those seeking to kill him, a report went up or of those, a report. Okay, that's okay. Phasis, a saying, a report of those seeking, or about those seeking to kill him. So the Jews are trying to kill somebody down in the temple courts. You better get down there. So this report of them seeking to kill him, apokteno, this is the present, apokteno. Yeah, so this is the present. Is this present? The ending, it looks like an aorist. So it may be that this particular word has that circumflex might be the clue that this is aorist, and the alpha is a clue. So let's say that this is aorist active infinitive. A report of those seeking to kill him went up. This is the aorist of anabino to the Chiliarch. So this is the leader of thousands. This is the commander. This is not the centurion, which is a leader of hundreds. This is a Chiliarch, the leader of thousands. This is the bigger leader of the seed of the cohort. That the whole of Jerusalem was stirred up, is stirred up. This is the present of sun kun amai, I assume, or it could be sun kuno, and this is the genuine passive. Sun keo, yeah. Wow, that gets a little mixed up, doesn't it? Okay. So the whole of the city is stirred up. And they kind of watched from the fortress Antonia to, for this sort of thing. Who, relative clause, relative pronoun, who immediately, having taken soldiers and centurions. So he's taken some people down. This is a mob, and he's taken the people down. This is lobbing un aorist, so it's paralambano. It's participle, so this is an aorist active participle, nominative masculine singular from paralambano. Having taken soldiers and centurions, we ran down upon them. Oh, he ran down upon them. So this is not men, we. This is he. Probably kata treco, and the aorist is edramon. So it has the dram there is the aorist of treco, strange. So this is aorist active indicative third singular from kata treco. I'm quite sure, and the survey says I'm right. Of course, I'm always right. I say with doubt. And the ones who had seen the Chiliarch, the ones who'd seen the commander, this is the aorist participle of horao. Id is the clue. Ant is participle, so aorist active participle, non-masculine plural. And those who saw, the who comes from the fact that it has the article. I have to come up with those because it doesn't have a noun there, so it's substantive, adjectival. The ones who had seen the commander and the soldiers, they stopped beating Paul. Okay, that wasn't funny to Paul. No, I didn't touch him. Sigma alpha is aorist, so this is aorist. Ant is a middle ending, so this is aorist middle indicative third plural. They ceased beating. It's kind of a complementary infinitive here. They stopped beating. It flows just naturally. My aunt is an active participle, so this is from tupto, to beat. I think of typing, when you type something, the type script, and so they're beating Paul. They're putting, let me give you a tattoo. Let me give you a brand here. I'm going to brand you with my fist. So they were beating Paul. They stopped beating him. Okay, tomorrow, our story continues. This is unfortunate, of course, especially if Paul didn't take someone into the temple. He's getting nabbed for something he didn't actually do.